Oh my god, everyone, it's such a huge reveal. Akiho is the cloaked figure. I can't believe it. I can't keep that up. Obviously, it was Akiho. There was no real other option. Like, sure, some people thought maybe it could have been Shaoran, but it was pretty obvious from the get-go who was going to be under that hood. Anyway, I'm CCYamato, and welcome to Chapter 23 of the Clear Card Recaps. We begin where we left off, with Ariel expositing and theorizing about Kaito and his intentions, before promptly getting cut off as across town, Kaito is using magic to interfere and cut off the line. You know, this is really kind of your fault, Ariel. Did you really have to use magic to make this call? Wouldn't it have been less conspicuous to just send an email or a normal Skype call? I mean, yes, we can see that Kaito can block that kind of stuff, but would he have even noticed this if there wasn't presumably a very large amount of magic being used just a few miles away? I know you have a motif going here, Ariel. You're the super cool reincarnation of Clow Reed and you do things with magic, but really, would it kill you to just embrace the modern era? Speaking of a few miles away, Shaoran and Sakura are approaching Sakura's house, and Sakura and Shaoran are discussing mirrors in an actually kind of impressively deep sort of way. She's talking about the way that people see themselves and the way that other people see them are different, and she wishes that she could see herself the way other people do, because she's aware that she is kind of, well, Sakura. We all know she's a bit dense, but until this point, we never really truly knew that she knew she was so dense. This moment of self-reflection is interrupted as they reach her house, but they see it's become the victim of 90s-era manga adaptation and it's been vertically flipped. A quick secure later, and she reveals that it's the work of a very familiar-looking card, Mirror, which Sakura uses to duplicate the flight card and take Shaoran on a lovely couples flight over the town. It's cute, but I can't help but think we're flying right into the final chapter or the final event, because I think we're coming to a climax in this series. First, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. We've outed Kaito as not only just a shadowy figure, but an actual malicious threat, though not as powerful as we may have thought. As the dialogue shows, he damaged or possibly completely destroyed his watch in the process of blocking Ariel's interference. That watch is a tool of his power, and in the anime, it's what he uses to control time, and more or less seems to function as his wand in the same way that Ariel or Sakura's staffs do. Over in the Sakura story, we see Shaoran contemplating the nature of the new clear cards. He surmises that the clear cards aren't inherently meant to be cards, but rather they're assuming a card form because that's what Sakura is familiar with. This also sort of puts a damper on the theory that Shaoran is making the cards, considering he's the one making this assessment. It seems that the clear cards weren't created as cards, rather Sakura is bending them into a card form because that's literally the only form of magic she knows. The fact that she's made a card so similar to one of the original cards, though, makes me wonder what's going to happen if the original deck is restored. For the record, I still hope it is. After all, we all love the original cards, and I'd like to see them come back. Now, whether I want a sequel to the clear cards where Sakura is turning the clear cards into Sakura cards, to be honest, I think I've had enough rehash with this series alone. Yes, I'm saying there is only so much Cardcaptor manga and anime I can stand. Don't judge me. Last, there's this one moment with Momo apparently showing some actual concern for Akiho. What I gather from this is that when Kaito is using his magic, it's somehow harmful to Akiho, and he's taking a big risk fighting Ariel the way he is. It's interesting because I never got the impression that Momo had a real compassion or interest in Akiho, she just sort of existed. But I guess when you've only had half a dozen speaking appearances, a page each, it's hard to show what your personality really is. But that's chapter 23. It was a little light compared to some of the recent chapters, but I think it's the calm before the storm. If you've been keeping up with the anime, you know it's coming to an end in June, and I feel like the manga is on its way to a finale as well. But how different they're going to be, we have yet to see. Until then, I'll see you in the next chapter. I'm expecting big things to happen. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at ccm_Yamato or on my Tumblr, the Cardcaptor Museum, for updates. See you next time.